At 16, I found myself standing in front of a judge with the possibility of years in prison because I shot a good friend of mine. And if you are of the belief that what goes around comes around, I will tell you you're absolutely right. Because by the time I was 19, well, I was shot 3 times by a family member. So those wounds that I inflicted upon Johnny and the wounds that were inflicted upon me, they are real and they are close. So when you had the fear of not making it, when you had the fear of failure, those things almost became very real in my life at a very young age. But once again, I was determined that the way it started was not going to be the way that it ended. And that's the same thing for you. Where you are or what has happened in your life does not have to define you. At some point, you make a decision that you're going to move on beyond that. And you're going to overcome that so you can get to the next stage of your life and make an impact in someone else's life. So I saw how lives can be transformed from sharing my own story and even more importantly, helping others to share their story. I thought, you know what, this is really something I really need to do more of and help others to do the same.
How do you make people comfortable with kind of not the so glamorous parts of our lives?
Well, I think it's really when they let their guard down when they actually hear my story. Because I think, many times what I've learned is that folks don't connect well with polish, but they do connect with purpose. And when you can let your guard down and be vulnerable enough to share your story, then people can do the same. But if you're guarding yourself and holding on to things and they can tell that you're hiding things, then generally they don't feel very comfortable. Yeah. But once you let that guard down and begin to open up and share, then they can actually see themselves in you. And when they can see themselves in you, then they become more comfortable sharing with you.
Right.
So because there's a lot of noise right now. And so for you to be able to dial in and get your message points across, to be able to reach and engage your audience, it's extremely important. You sharing your story, again, can help someone breathe just a little bit easier. It can be someone's oxygen, someone who you may never meet. But you take opening up and sharing that thing that you've been hiding, that thing that, again, I thought was a weakness for me. I thought being a high school dropout and all the things that happened in my life, those were weaknesses. Only to find out later, they were really my strengths. It gave my life meaning. It gave my life purpose, something to move away from and to gravitate to something even greater. So I will challenge you with this. That thing that you've been holding on to, that thing that you think defines you, that thing that you think sets you back, make up in your mind today that it will no longer define you. It will no longer set you back. But you're going to move from one place to the other so you can muster up the courage to be able to share that thing that you've been hiding. Because someone out there needs to hear it. Someone needs to benefit from it. Because you see, when you talk about from setback to stage, it's not about perfection, but it does take courage. And that begins the moment you tell your story.